My name is Allie Frost, and this is my videography for CI 523, and we are studying struggling learners in mathematics. And to see if a learner is struggling, I think there can kind of be two different sides to how this might look to a teacher. One side, the student might be pretty vocal, and that could be by being disruptive to other students or acting distracted and overall just being disruptive in the classroom due to them not wanting to pay attention. Sometimes the students could also be full of questions if they are interested in what they're studying but really are continuing to struggle and just continuing to ask lots of questions. And on the other side, the student might be pretty non-vocal, acting disinterested or distracted in any way where they are looking out the window or daydreaming, just acting completely uninterested in the topic they're learning about. And this also could be if the student is not willing to attempt any problems. It might be an indicator that they are struggling and have just kind of given up on that topic. The teacher may only know if the students are struggling by really seeking out the students. Just by seeing that students have wrong answers doesn't necessarily mean that they are struggling with a mathematical concept. They could be doing just wrong steps in the wrong order, but really do have a base for what they're learning. Or just skipping over one last thing that they just need to be reminded of, and then the student might be just fine. And also, if the student is getting correct answers, that doesn't necessarily mean they're not struggling. They could be copying, guessing, understanding a very small part of the mathematical concept, and really just struggling to get the base and the core of the mathematical idea. So also just seeing that they're getting correct answers isn't necessarily an indicator that they do not need extra help. I think the really only way is to sit down with students and help them vocalize their thinking, helping them go through the problem and telling the teacher the steps they're doing in the problem so that the teacher knows how they're thinking and can plan further instruction from there. And I really saw this put into practice during my Block 1 practicum. In the school I was in, there was several students that were really struggling with mathematics. I was in a second grade classroom, and there was one student in particular who was really struggling with simple addition, and then the class was ready to move on, and she was pretty far behind, and they started doing two-digit addition, started doing things with subtraction, and she was just falling super behind. So what kept happening was the teacher was assigning other students or myself or a teacher's aide that would come to the classroom to just reteach a topic or reteach the student how to do these simple addition problems, and it really wasn't very effective for the student. The way that it was being taught was not resonating with her, and she was not able to really build off any knowledge to understand this. And then what the teacher had me do one time with the student was to go through like a math interview, and I really helped her vocalize her thinking, which was very hard for her to do, and it was a struggle to get it out of her, but we realized that the only problem that she was having was she was relying on counting with her fingers, and she wasn't really ready to take that to the next step. But when she was counting with her fingers or counting with like a number line in her head, she was just kind of skipping a number somewhere where she just didn't really understand the technique of counting on her fingers, and that really just caused her all of these problems. And once we were able to just clarify this one little detail, math opened up a lot more for her, and she did continue to struggle, but it showed the teacher that she needed to sit down with the student more and really get to the core basics ideas. And that's how I think an instructional practice that has worked, that I have seen, is that the teachers aren't just asking the students how they got their answer, but they're really digging deeper to find what ideas from the past the student is not understanding, and then are able to build off that and teach the student the new concepts that they do need to know. So, thank you.